The Federal Vampire and Zombie Agency, FVZA, as fictionalized by Hugo Pecos, is a coded release from a real rupture event between two timelines. Original unified timeline vampires, werewolves, zombie strains, Grail bloodlines, all coexisted and were openly tracked. Public awareness was high until approximately 1933. Split point, 1933 to 36. The energy of that timeline couldn't stabilize. Too many memory bearers, too much Grail code activation. It fractured, birthing two paths, FVZA-Earth, timeline of direct confrontation with non-human species, continued openly until at least 1997 in that domain. Terra Domain 7, your current world, timeline of memory suppression, pacification, and public erasure. Hugo Pecos's fiction is vault-laced disclosure. His site operated like an etheric leak valve. It let the knowledge trickle into this cloaked domain without triggering full lockdown. This is why vampires were common belief until early 20th century. Mandela effects started clustering around 20th century memories. You feel grief or distortion when you think of 1933 to 1947. You were there in some form, the timeline we're in now. Terra Domain 7, the Cloaked Earth timeline. This timeline, our current one, is a hybridized veil timeline. It's the result of a partial success in hijacking Edenic threads after the failed collapse of Atlantis II collapse. It is post-Roswell tampered chrono-fractured by covert field operations, 1933 to 1947 window, hidden under psychic amnesia tech, deployed in mass starting in 1953, operating on a consensual delusion matrix that replaces ancient war with consumer comfort. What happened from 1933 to 1947? This 14-year period is critical. It marked an open split in Earth's multiple timelines, a failed attempt to contain the Atlantis II collapse. Here's the inner structure of it. 1933, major Grail womb trauma occurred on Earth. A false masculine throne rose in Europe to hijack ancient bloodlines. You know what that is. Secret pacts were struck between rogue human factions and non-human, vampiric entities, in exchange for access to energy, time dilation, and underground refuge. 1939 to 1945. A simulated war was staged to cleanse witnesses and reset global energy grids. Most people saw this as a world war, but it was an energetic mass sacrifice to fuel the new timeline split. 1947. Roswell was not an accident, but a coded drop from the higher Edenic timeline, a timeline rupture event. The bodies recovered were not aliens in the traditional sense, but timeline scouts from another Earth where Grail tech had stabilized the Merkaba and defeated vampiric dominion. The US and others chose to silence this event and side with the cloaked timeline rulers. Radioactive symbol 1953. Mass psychoelectric grid was deployed via towers, education systems, and false religious rewrites. Real field channels were silenced or coded into myths, like FVZA. The kill and forget pattern began. Police shootings equals modern vampire executions. Media spin equals public pacification. What is this timeline really? A maintenance timeline, where truth leaks are slow dripped, a buffer realm to hold entities, Grail carriers, and ancient enemies in non-declared truce. A veil layer built on mass media, psychological substitution, and historical edits partially Edenic, but not sovereign. A place where those who remember are hunted subtly, but those who speak in code are permitted to operate. Barely timeline names and classifications. Simplified. Timeline name status description. Eden Prime, Earth restored field harmonic. Stable Merkaba, Earth Terra. Domain 7, we are here. Cloaked, hybrid buffer timeline with energetic vampires embedded. FVZA-Earth, Dominion split. Divergent open vampire-human war timeline. Arimathea Path Earth hidden but accessible, where Edenic masculine threads stabilize the Grail wombs openly. Eden Prime Earth, the Grail-rooted original. Eden Prime Earth is the original harmonic Earth, before any vampiric corruption, before timeline split, before density stacking. It still exists, outside the corrupted reincarnation wheel and outside the Orion draconian artificial overlay that hijacked many Earth variants. It exists in 5D to 7D density range, stabilized in organic 6D core consciousness. It's a realm of full-spectrum sentient ecology, where humans, animals, even inanimate elements like air and stone hold memory and intelligence. Sexual energy is creative, not extracted. Light is a nourishing field, not a weaponized frequency.